to beat Denver?
30-plus, Greeny. I think he has to take the game into his own hands. We've seen these two have playoff matchups over the past couple of years. It's a full-blown rivalry. Denver has defended him well in the regular season. He's going to have to break that trend because Nikola Jokic is on a mission.
Yeah, if Ant plays great, you give them much of a chance in this series. They've played legendary series the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think that you automatically have to give them that nod. They've been that team that can say, hey, man, I don't know what's going on this year, but time to turn it on, guys. They've been that team. So you give them that nod in that respect. But I agree, over 30 Ant, and turn that back to that basket. You know that double coming. Turn that back, man. It's time. Let's see it.
Let's go to the Lakers and the Rockets, Vince. LeBron needs to average what for the Lakers to pull off what would be a huge upset?
A lot of assists. 12 assists a game. If you think about old Magic Johnson, I'm talking about 1991, dragging that Lakers team, not Showtime, to the finals. He played a lot with his back to the basket. He set up everybody for shots. I think that is kind of what LeBron has to play because nobody else can create shots for the Lakers. LeBron is going to have to operate out of the post against the Amen Thompsons and the Tates and all those young guys and play from there. That is going to be a miracle if he gets it.
Good Lord. Just keep showing the magic. As far as I'm concerned, I'll watch that all day. Finally, Shump, let's get to the Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns needs to average what for the Knicks to beat Atlanta?
Big Cat, I need 25 and 12, man. Go on, break them off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. You hear me? I need you to go out here and do what we know you can do. One, because the matchup suits him.
Yes.
I think the matchup is perfect for him to start the playoffs, get himself rolling for the later rounds of the playoffs. Cat, we looking for 25 and 12. We looking for that two-man game out of you and Jalen at the end of the game. Come on, Cat, get me hyped up now. Come on
there's
now.
pressure on Karl Anthony Towns, and we've talked about that a lot this week. Yesterday, Stephen A. Smith put the pressure on the Knicks coach. This was on First Take yesterday, talking about their first-round matchup.
Oh, boy.
And what do it mean if the Knicks get knocked out by Atlanta? Here's what Stephen A. said.
Mike Brown is going as the head coach. Karl Anthony Towns, likely Mikal Bridges, and who knows who the hell else is going as New York Knickerbockers. That's the bottom line. You understand? It's just that simple. If you lose in the first round, to the Atlanta Hawks, I think heads are going to roll.
That sound right? What do you think? If they lose in this first, Mike Brown, this is his first year.
I don't have a problem with them if they lose. I had a problem with the way he said, like, if you lose to Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
Like, Atlanta Hawks are dangerous.
Yeah,
that's my only.
You think he's dismissing what is a tougher series than he's making it sound?
On paper, yes, I get it. But if you're watching these games, you don't see Atlanta as an opponent that you just going to run out of here 4-0 and it's just not going to be nothing to be said about it. Like, I think that they're a team that fights, and if they stay in games, they have a chance at the end having a Jalen Johnson and a C.J. McCullough.
Look, I was one who did not think that Thibodeau was going to get fired last year. Obviously, I was wrong. If the Knicks have a very disappointing postseason, either nodding out and bowing out in round one or maybe not really competing with Boston in round two, do you think we could see significant changes there?
James Dolan laid out the gauntlet a couple of months ago on the same night that the Knicks were blown out by 30 in Detroit. The irony of it, he said we should make the NBA Finals.
Without a doubt.
When you are saying that, and it lets everybody know that publicly, we've already known that privately. That shows you the stakes are so high. The New York Knicks, more than any other franchise, more than the Spurs, more than the Thunder, more than anybody else you can think of, have the pressure on them this season to advance to a certain place. They don't have to win a title. They have to get to the NBA Finals, no matter what.
Let me tell you what they would be bucking then. Can we put that up on the screen, please? DraftKings doesn't like it. DraftKings has them as the third favorite in the East. They like the Celtics, then the Cavs, then the Knicks, and then the one seed, the Pistons, in the back there. What do you think of that, Shump? You surprised?
Man, that made me want to get in there and make some money.
Because you like the Knicks to get that's to make the NBA Finals.
I know that I feel that statement 100%, and I feel like I agree with it. If they don't make it to the finals, it is a disappointment. And that's because of the early on things that we saw with Boston and saying, is Jason Tatum going to come back? Is he going to come back as he once was? But like I was telling Vinny, they were about to beat Boston with Tatum healthy.
Last year anyway.
They were gonna beat them.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's
even more pressure on you.
That's the bar. Like that is now the bar is that we have to beat Boston. You're no longer looking at the Celtics as the big bad franchise, that the standard.
Who the big bad wolf?
I don't know who not in the East. There's nobody really. Everybody has flaws. No, everybody has flaws.
Okay.
Detroit with a year more experience might be that, but
how about the Pistons being fourth on that list, Vinny?
I think from an experience standpoint, I understand it. When you look at Cleveland and the moves that they've made, the Pistons didn't make a move at the trade deadline that they're going to go for the ring this year. So that let me know that their expectation is let's win a playoff series. They haven't won a home game yet in the playoffs yet, Greeny, and we're saying they have to get to the NBA Finals. It's incremental steps.
Well, it's them on one side and San Antonio on the other side. The two teams that have been ridiculously good this year but don't have the postseason experience. We'll see if it matters. And again, Stephen A. is putting the Knicks and their coach on notice. In the meantime, and get up. And one of the big questions in the NBA is where Giannis will be next season on the heels of another frustrating year in Milwaukee. Yesterday on NBA Today, Shams had these comments about how Miami is going to be a team very much in the mix.
The Heat, Pat Riley, it's clear around the NBA when I talk to rival executives, Pat Riley wants his whale, his shark, his tiger, whatever animal you want to use to describe it. At the deadline, they made offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo. They offered Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, a bunch of draft capital, from my understanding. The Bucks didn't obviously move Giannis, and so they'll be back in the Giannis hunt.
This, of course, before the Heat lost last night, so their season is officially over. Shump, if I say Giannis to the Heat, what's your reaction?
I like it. I definitely like it. I think the Heat play a style of basketball that Giannis could fit in. They don't need him to settle for threes and shoot a bunch of threes, and that's the only knock on Giannis. I think they get up and down, they defend. They play for 48 minutes. It's a good group for him to be around.
Vinny, I've got people telling me, why would he go if his goal is to win? Doesn't feel a lot closer in Miami. Now, they're better than Milwaukee, but doesn't feel like that's a title waiting to happen. What's your reaction?
You'd be trusting the infrastructure of the Miami Heat to surround you with shooting. If you put him and Bam Adebayo together, that means you need three shooters around. The thing about the Heat is they have 3 tradable first-round picks, including this season. Not everybody has their own draft capital. That's an attractive thing. But if you're Milwaukee, you're going to be expecting young players plus draft capital this season, unless he says specifically, I want to go to Miami, that handcuffs you.
So far, Giannis, and we talked about this the other day, has been hesitant to be the bad guy in all of this. And dictating where he wants to go would certainly be being the bad guy. So let's just play fantasy basketball. Let's put him wherever we want. Give me a place that Giannis could land that, in your opinion, they win the title next year.
Well, fantasy basketball. Look,
you win the title next year?
Win the title next year. Where could Giannis go that all of a sudden now we're going to win the championship? Where are we going?
Well, besides Oklahoma City or someplace like that. But Minnesota, to me, and Minnesota does not have the draft capital. They can only trade 28. This year's pick, the 28th, and 2033. They don't have the draft capital. But if you put him with Anthony Edwards, that's the profile of the type of player who is a ball-dominant ball player, who can play both ends, and you're not asking Giannis to create everything on offense. You're just telling Giannis, be a secondary scorer, a secondary primary scorer, be a facilitator, and be hellacious on defense, as opposed to putting him in a similar situation like he is already in Milwaukee, where he has to do everything.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yesterday you gave me Golden State. You said he and Steph similar. Obviously, Steph and Edwards are not similar players, but the rationale behind that, I think, would be relatively similar as far as what would be required of Giannis. What do you think?
If we're talking about a championship, it's like he said, go up there to OKC.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Could you see that? That would be.
You don't want to be the bad guy, but K did it.
Yeah. Would that be like KD going to Golden State?
Yeah.
KD was able to go to Golden State as a free agent in a weird moment where the salary cap expanded. It was like a very rare perfect storm of circumstances. This wouldn't be that. OKC would have to make a trade in order to get him, right?
Yeah.
Right. Look.
I just meant joining on to a team that don't really need him.
Right, and then there's exactly.
That's what I meant. Like they can win without him, but if he goes, it's the same.
Okay, let's talk about a team that can't win without him. The New York Knicks. Right? I don't think they're winning the championship this year. And depending on what happens in the playoffs, there could be a heightened sense of urgency to go get him. I just don't know if there's a realistic path right now.
If they get knocked out in the second round by Boston, the Knicks fans are going to be clamoring for Giannis.
Without a doubt.
You like it? Would you think that would be?
If they a second round exit?
If they get knocked out by Boston in the second round.
Then I'm part of it. I'm part of it. You can go get him. Like, it's on a red alert, you can go get him because y'all shouldn't be bouncing out in the second round.
Yeah, I think the the noise is going to get a lot louder.
Yeah.
We do know these two sides entered into an exclusive negotiating period that we didn't find out about until much later.
Right.
That's how quiet it was. So it's clear that if there's one place he wants to go, it would be the New York Knicks.
Okay, we'll see. The Knicks will begin their playoffs on Saturday against Atlanta. We'll see how long it takes for that one to come to an end. In the meantime, coming up now, I can tell you that what happens this weekend in Vegas will definitely not stay in Vegas.